I love that idea. I love that idea. Hey there, everybody. What's going on? It's Thursday, August 5th. It was 11:11. It's 11:12. My name is Jenna Mammina. This is 11:11 with Jenna. I am here every day and every night. 7 days, 7 nights, 14 times a week. Here at 11:11 a.m. p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I welcome you. If you are someone I don't know, say hi. Just say hi, so we know. So you're not a lurker, because you may end up really digging the show and want to become a part of this groovy family. I have no idea who's here right now. Who's here? Julie Luce. I love that. Patty, what do you think? Tips and treats on Tuesdays. Tips, treats, and tapas. Tips, treats, and tapas. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Julie Luce and Patty. Hey, Mama Grace. Hey, Armando Ortega. So I know who, I know 4 of you are. So there's 1 lurking. Hi, lurker. I'm Jenna. Now you've seen me. Here we are. It is Thursday, and I am really excited because tonight is Thursday night and tomorrow morning is Friday morning, and that means Armando Ortega is going to be here, and tomorrow night is display and share, and I think I have something to display and share. I can't remember right this minute. Mayor Bundy, you're the lurker. Hi, Mayor Bundy. Not mayor, mayor. She's not the mayor, although she could be a mayor. Do you want to be a mayor? Mayor? I like that. Mayor, mayor. Mayor. So I got your drawing this morning, but my eyes were still, so I didn't quite get it. But this is going to be, so anyway, I was thinking on my morning walk today. I liked it. What was it again? Tips, treats, and tips, treats, and tapas. I added the tapas part. Is that okay? Tips, treats, tapas. Let me just send that out to. We're doing a couple of things here because I like to make small things, small bites. Because I don't want to do tips, treats, and a moosh boosh. Tips, treats, and tapas. I like your morning. You've already gone on a walk, Julie? Impressive. I like that. So, and then display and share, and then Saturday morning is one more Saturday morning with Jeff Metzger, and then Saturday night is one more Saturday night with Gary Lambert, and Sunday morning is Alex Martinez, and Sunday night, Poetry Glam. This week featuring my friend. I'm so excited. Gloria Weberg. She's going to be on the show because she's going to do a poem. She's going to read Mary Oliver. And then I think she's going to be on the show next week. Like, we'll introduce you and then she'll be on the show. And then, so that's Sunday, and then Monday morning we meander, and Monday night we meditate, and Tuesday morning, I haven't figured out Tuesdays yet, have I? We need a new Tuesday thing. Tuesday morning, well, when she's ready, tips, treats, and tapas with Patty. And Tuesday night, Andrew Rader, and Wednesday morning, we go on our walks, and Wednesday night, something groovy happens. Cookies and cocktails with Shauna when she's available. Cocktails and cocktails and cocktails with Patty and Julie when they're available. And then Thursday mornings, I'm excited today because I have a friend who's patiently waiting. He's been on the show, and I'm happy that he's back. And we're going to talk about his profession and how he got into it. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and many of yours. From Merced, California, now, Michael Kiel. What? 510 in the house. Go, Berkeley.
Howdy, can you hear me?
Howdy. Yes, beautifully.
All right, good.
No, so was it Southern California and then you moved to Berkeley, or you were born in Berkeley?
Bite your tongue, woman.
I wanted to make sure. Well, somebody else was a Southern, so were you born
I
at Alta
was
Bates?
I was born in Berkeley
You were born at Alta Bates?
at Herrick,
Herrick. Okay.
and then I grew up basically in San Francisco,
That's right. Okay,
and
you
then
were over there.
we moved back to the East Bay in '71, right after my freshman year of high school,
And
and
that
then
was the house on Carlton Street.
right,
We
right,
used to be neighbors. We didn't know it, but we were neighbors.
yeah, right across the street.
Crazy. So then you moved from you went to school, high school freshman year in San Francisco and then moved over to Berkeley?
Yes, went to Jefferson High School in Daly City, California.
Wow.
Jefferson High School Indians.
I
Morning,
bet you
Mama
know
Grace.
some Daly City people that I know. I have a
Yeah,
feeling.
it's a little bit different now than it was. There was a lot of Italians there then,
Yeah,
and now there's Mexican and Filipino.
right. Yeah, it was a
So
big Italian. A friend of mine was the mayor. Jim Tucker was the mayor of Daly City at one
it
time.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was mayor. I think he was two or three times he was the mayor. Good guy.
Yeah,
Jim Tucker. Big
yeah,
Jim.
I liked it. Actually, lived in Colma.
Okay,
Kinda,
Colma, Daly City.
yeah, kind of dead there.
Top of the hill, Daly City. What was that? What was
I
that?
said it's kind of dead there.
No, but what was that stereo company?
Oh, was it Matthews?
Yeah. And you could go in and come into Matthews today and get a free CD player
Yeah,
with your purchase of something something. Top of the hill,
yeah,
Daly.
we're loaded. Top of the hill, Daly City, right there on Mission Boulevard.
Mhm.
Actually, it's where Mission became El Camino Real, right there at the top of the hill.
And El Camino Real, if you drive that from point to point, it's a really long street.
Yeah, technically it's the King's Highway, and it connects all the missions. I think
So
there's
you can start
26
in San
missions from.
Francisco.
Actually, it's the last one's in Santa Rosa,
What?
and it goes all the way down to San Diego.
You can take the El Camino Real all the way from point to point?
Well, technically, but it's not. It's different now because all the highways and streets
You
and
have to
everything.
get off and then go back on and do. Yeah, I
Right.
was on that once. I did a gig there and we were somewhere in the city and the next thing I knew we were in, I went, how did this happen? Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah, that's
So
one of my bucket list items is to hit all the missions in California.
I've done a lot of them, not all of them. Yeah, that'd be a fun thing. Gracie, we could do that road trip. Are you a road trip guy?
Yeah, I used to like driving a lot more than I do now, but that's mostly because I'm working all the time and all that stuff. And with the travel restrictions and whatnot, it takes all the fun out of it.
But you guys, you do something kind of fun. It's not Renaissance. What is it that you do?
Oh, the Highland Games.
Highland Games.
Yeah, that's in Pleasanton. They're supposed to have a limited games this year. That'll be at the end of the month. But I don't have any details on it right now.
Will you go?
I'm thinking about it because I haven't missed one yet, except last year because they canceled it. But I would like to go. It's a fun time. You get around a bunch of kilts and it's party time.
Do you eat like big pieces of chicken and stuff, or turkey legs and stuff like that? Is
They
it
have them. I
Renaissance
haven't
dish?
had one of those yet. I kind of stick to the traditional Celtic food, like they have meat pies, which are pretty tasty. What's the other one? Fish and chips.
Julie. My
which
shirt's
is-
not ironed. Do you iron, Michael?
No,
Yeah.
I used to. It's like now it's what's the point?
Well, we do like t-shirt. Julie likes the shirt. It's a good color.
Well, this one. This is my
Giant.
Giants shirt.
Have you been a Giants fan since a child?
Since Willie Mays was playing.
Really?
Yeah. My mom used to take us. Excuse me. My mom used to take us to Candlestick Park and get us into the bleachers, and we'd sit behind Willie Mays. And we'd yell out to him and he'd always talk to us. So that's a great memory I have of a Candlestick. I was sorry to see it go, but progress.
Yeah. So my friend David DiNucci said the Highland Games, they also have them in Portland near Mount Hood
Yeah,
College.
they have them all over. The one in Pleasanton is reportedly the largest games outside of the UK, and it's been going on for 151 years, 155 years,
Wow.
consistently.
And you were visiting the Highland Games and showed up at one of my gigs. That was
Yeah.
crazy. All
Yes.
of a sudden I'm like, what? What?
Went, oh, Jenna's in town. We gotta go.
Yeah, you did. So
So,
Merced, how did you land in Merced?
uh, um,
Is
well,
that
that's a
part of
long
your
story.
career that I want to ask you about?
A little bit.
So you got out of high school.
Got out of high school. You want me to run down my career?
Well, I want to know how you got inspired. Well, before that, how did you become inspired? How do I ask this? How are you inspired to become a nurse?
I've been around nurses all my life. I had asthma as a kid, so I was always in the hospital. And they always treated me so well there, except for the shots. I didn't like the shots. Um, and my mother was a nurse's aide. My grandmother, her mother, was a caregiver, so she took care of somebody else's kids. My dad's, after the divorce, my dad's girlfriends, or the ladies that he would date, all tend to be nurses. So I was kind of around it. The ladies that I grew up with in church, my Sunday school teachers and all that, they were all nurses. So I kind of always been around nurses. And up until a year before I went to nursing school, I said I would never be a nurse. Like,
Really?
why would I do that? I was actually a forestry major when I went to college,
How cool.
but the particular college I was going to didn't have a forestry program. So I was doing all the prerequisites, trying to transfer, and I talked to a forester, and he says, "Well, the field is full, and the only people that are getting jobs as a forester, are in the right place at the right time. When somebody retires or dies, and then they get in."
Because there's
Yeah,
only so many at
right,
each national park, and
right. So, and then I thought about being a ranger, but a ranger's law enforcement, and at the time, I wouldn't pass the background and all that
Were
stuff.
you kind of a hippie boy from Berkeley?
A hippie wannabe.
Wannabe? No, I would think of you as a wannabe.
Well, back then I was kind of young, so I wasn't allowed to partake in certain substances. And
Did you hang out up on Telegraph?
oh yeah, I love Telegraph Ave and Tightwad Hill up behind the university, and uh, Golden Gate Park, and back in the '60s when the hippies were all over the park and whatnot, Haight Ashbury, and we lived over in that area, so it was kind of fun. That was cool. But so I gave up on the forestry major, and I was looking at the career stuff, and I already had like 2/3 of the prerequisite for the nursing program. And I went, what the heck? And I had taken an EMT course and nurse's aid course and all that stuff, and all the stuff seemed to come easy to me. It's the science programs all kind of held my interest better than all the other stuff I was trying to do. So I kind of went that way. LVN school, I got into the LVN program and went 2 semesters, and
Where?
College of the Redwoods.
Okay.
In Eureka. And due to my wannabe hippie lifestyle.
Yeah, you were up in Eureka. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I dropped 2 points and dropped out of the program, or got dropped out of the program. Missed it by 2 points.
Out of the nursing program?
Right. Out of the LVN program. So they says, well, if you go back around, circle around, you can reapply and get back in because you already have all the points, and you'd just be basically kind of like on a waiting list. And so I circled back around and reapplied for the RN program and got in. So I changed my lifestyle a little bit, quit partying so much, and made it through the RN program.
Standing ovation.
Yeah, so that was pretty big. Because I graduated high school with a D average, so that was really big. Maintain a B average in nursing school. So
High school is a different animal.
Yeah, and I wasn't interested in school, and it was difficult for me. I didn't read well, and I had no idea. I didn't have any study skills and all that stuff. So,
but you knew math and science. Or
yeah.
You were good at math and science.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got better once I got out of the Marine Corps. I had after I got kicked out of school.
Okay.
After high school, I went to Chico State.
Chico State. You guys, that's like the party capital university of the planet.
And it was. And I didn't do so well there, so I got kicked out. And I got fired from my dishwashing job all within 24 hours. So I said, okay, something's got to change here.
I guess that's a sign.
Yeah.
Time to leave Chico.
So I went down to the recruiter's office and joined the Marines.
Really?
Yeah.
In that same time, like how soon after you got fired and got kicked out of school?
48 hours. Well, what I was doing obviously wasn't working, and I needed a little help.
Right.
So
you chose the Marines. Why the Marines?
Well, I went to the Air Force, and it said I want to fly. They asked me if I had 20/20 vision. I said no. So I walked out of there. Too much water in the Navy. And the next office was the Marines. Walked in there, and they signed me up. And I kind of always wanted to be a Marine anyway.
Marines are cool.
It's kind of one of those things. You want to or you don't.
I have powerful Marines around me.
Yep.
That's for sure. And so so Marines.
I did 4 years in the Marine Corps. Got out, and I started going back to school, and I took courses in how to read textbooks, how to take notes, how to study, all that stuff, and actually got my first A in a science class. And that was kind of the motivation to get me to go further, because I thought I was a dummy up until then. So that was kind of an epiphany I had. And of course, in nursing school, you have to maintain what normal people would be a B average, just to stay in the program. So I did that and got through and graduated.
Oh, hold on. Wait, I'll do that for you. These guys get kind of rowdy. I love you now.
I guess.
So, you're in the Marines and you're a nurse.
No, that was before I became a nurse.
Okay.
Then the Marines, I blew up stuff.
You were in the Marines, you blew up stuff. Okay.
I was actually in communications, but I talked to people that blew stuff up.
I bet. So, skipping to something else. So, if you're ever awake on a Sunday, right now we're doing poetry glam on Sunday nights, and I would love to hear you read some poetry. Think about it. If you're ever awake, I know you have crazy hours. Yeah. So you're a nurse now, and you've been a nurse for how long?
32 years.
32 years. Have you worked in all different facilities? Do you prefer one over the other?
Man, I've worked in hospitals from the North Coast all the way down to the Bay Area. I've been to almost every hospital in the Bay Area, except maybe 2. And some are better than others. But, and I mostly work critical care, either ICU, ER, step down units. I've done some geriatric work. Um, but this is the second time I've tried home health.
Home
And
health is it's really important in our
yeah,
world now, and it's really hard to be able to have that.
especially now because they're kicking people out of the hospitals when they brought in managed care. You only have so many days that you can recuperate in the hospital, and they either ship you out to a rehab hospital or they send you home. And sometimes they send you home with attachments, and you need somebody to come in and help you with manage some of that stuff. So people are a little bit sicker when they go home versus recuperating the whole time till you get like all better and then go home like they used to. But the insurance companies are responsible for that. So we won't get into that.
Well, no, but that's things that what I Mayor, if you have any questions or anyone else has any questions, that's what I want to talk about here because people, some people understand it if you have been in the hospital or if you have parents that have been in the hospital and then all of a sudden what they're letting them go today after didn't they just have surgery 48
A few
hours
days ago, yeah.
yeah and then they say they're going to send a nurse over and then you wait for the nurse but then the nurse can't come and then covid happens and then the nurses can't come but they can come but they can't really come and
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, this COVID just really threw a monkey wrench in the works. So
but
kind of
even
messed up a
before
lot of
that
stuff.
I mean insurance wise um, I've experienced it a lot with my brother was an EMT but he was also he he was sick for many years he had Parkinson's and diabetes and but he knew more than the nurses that were caring for him usually
Yeah,
because he was smart. But um, so I've been around it, and I've also been around a lot. I've helped a lot of people die, so I've watched nurses come in and float out and then disappear, um, and you've been doing it for this long, so you've seen these transitions. And there's a question from Mayor: how do you support the patients in transition? What are the gaps? That's that. The gaps are. I'm a gap. I'm a gap filler. Family members usually, right? But if somebody's
yeah,
alone, they're just sitting there alone waiting for the nurse to come over.
yeah. That's a good question. Usually, the social worker is supposed to check with you before you're discharged from the hospital to make sure you have some type of support system set up. Um, but that's not always the case. So, yeah, it's usually
People go to
family.
rehab and then sometimes can get a little forgotten about at rehab unless there's an advocate there for them.
Right,
That,
and there is. But they don't tell you that. I mean, they might tell you that when you get checked in, but when you get checked in, you got so much stuff going on, you can't remember everything they tell you. So, and it's kind of unfortunate. And in my career, um, I try to advise my patients. Well, not advise, but um, what's the word I'm looking Uh, for lack of a better word that I can think of right now, notify my patients that they have rights and that they have avenues that they can pursue to get the treatment that they need to. Ultimately, you're in charge of your your own treatment.
right.
So if you're not getting what you need, then you need to talk to either this charge nurse or supervisor or patient advocate to find out what the deal is. It might be the facility can't meet your needs. In that case, you need to go to another facility. So
Hard to advocate for yourself, and sometimes people are afraid to ask. They don't want to
right,
upset the
they
apple
don't want to
cart
rock the
cart
boat,
or
and
make the
the
nurse
doctor
mad.
knows best. That's
Right.
old, antiquated thinking. The doctor doesn't know best. He knows what he can do, but that he's so overwhelmed with all the patients he has to deal with that he's only got a minute. I hate it when doctors come in, tell you this, this, and this, and then walk out. It's like,
Yeah, you
really?
walk in and you hear this news, and then it, and I my family when one of us is sick we kind of move into the hospital we're like okay here's my my I'll be here for the next 3 days, and they're like, sorry, me and my dog are going to be sleeping here with my dad. You cool with that? And they're like, well, that's not supposed to happen. I'm like, well, but
Yeah.
you weren't there last night, or you gave him insulin twice, tried to give him insulin twice last night in an hour, and no
Right.
fault to the nurse, but those
Yeah.
gaps happen. There are mistakes that happen.
Yeah. I've made them, and it's scary stuff.
Yeah.
And I've also been so overwhelmed with all the work that I have to do with the patient loads that those mistakes happen, and they happen more often than not. So yeah, having the family there is a blessing and a curse because some
Right.
families are better than others. You have some that just want to nitpick in everything you do, and that's not helping the situation. But then you have others that are really helpful,
Yeah.
and they also help keep the patients calm down. So that also helps with healing. So
We're
uh,
like a train in the hospital. When my father was in, it would be my mom, my sister, me, Lily and Pearl, and then sometimes guests would be, people wanted to come see him, so we'd be like this do down the hallway, and oh, there are the Maminas again. But like Julie said, some of the rehab places friends have ended up in they're sad. They're sad places because they're understaffed, because
yeah,
it takes a heart like yours and a big heart like yours to do what you do.
yeah, and then you have staffing. You have people that don't have the heart for it, or nursing is kind of a calling, and that's from nurses on down to the nurses' aides and so forth. And your good ones have that calling. Your not so good ones are just there to collect a check, and they do the work sometimes, and sometimes they don't show up. And it really makes it difficult all the way around. So,
Yeah.
and I've had a few of those, and it's frustrating for me. Uh, and I know it is for the patients, because the patients are ultimately the ones that suffer. So,
And now I mean, my question to you before I go any further is, would you consider coming on again and me asking you more questions, because I'm a caretaker. I never did go get my CNA or nursing. My brother was getting his CNA after, because we wanted to become nurses, but we just decided to do music and a bunch of other stuff instead. But I do advocacy work, and I have lots of questions to ask you, but there's only so much time, and I don't want to take up your time because I know you need to rest. But would you come back?
sure,
Okay. All
you
right.
don't even have to ask.
Okay. Well,
Just
well,
say when.
any Thursday morning you can come back. Or
Okay.
Wednesday mornings we're walking, Tuesdays we're doing, yeah, Thursday mornings right now are wide open because nighttime, you're working at night
Right.
at my
And
11:11.
I'm usually sleeping when you have the night one.
Okay, because you're working, you work privately,
Right.
and so you work at night, or you leave. What, I forget your hours.
Uh, 11 to 7.
So you work 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So you're supposed to be sleeping right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not as critical now as it is in the evening.
So when you get off work, do you go do errands and stuff and then go home and sleep?
Well, if I have errands, stuff, if I have important stuff that needs to be done, yeah, I tend to do it in the morning. Sometimes I'll do it in the afternoon when I wake up, like 2 o'clock or so. But the evening, I have to get that evening nap in. Otherwise, I'm a wreck, for
Are
at
you
least half the
nocturnal
night.
naturally?
Yeah, I've always been a night owl.
Yeah, me too.
So, yep. Just, I used to sit up and watch horror films with my mom, eating peppers out of, those pickled peppers in the jar. We
Yeah.
used to sit there and eat those out of the jar and watch horror films.
Do you have a favorite horror film?
No, I don't do that anymore because I had an incident where I kind of freaked out watching a movie I saw before.
Say that
Uh,
last part. Watching a movie.
I saw before.
Oh.
Night of the Living Dead and Tales of the Crypt. I'd seen both of them, but for some reason I had this episode, and it like totally wiped me out. And I don't know to this day what that was, but I don't go to horror films anymore as a result of that.
You do really important work. You are not working in a hospital right now.
No, I can't do that anymore. It stresses me out way. I burned out twice working in a hospital. And just even thinking about going to work in a hospital just gets me all wired up.
Okay, we want to talk about that. Do you like to cook?
Oh, I love to cook.
What do you love to cook?
Meat. I'm a carnivore. No, my grandfather was a master at barbecuing. And he was originally from Texas, so yeah, Texas barbecue.
So do you have like all that stuff in the yard kind of thing?
I have a Weber kettle outside. I have a offset smoker, and I have a gas grill.
Julie Luce, you and I are going to Merced when I'm back out in California. We're heading over to Michael's house. What time does that usually start?
Whenever it's not too hot to go outside.
Right. So, but you work at 11 p.m. So you
usually on the weekends.
Okay.
I'm off on the weekends. So yeah, come on up. I'll feed you.
Because Julie's in right now. Do you know where Dinky Creek is?
No.
It's near Yosemite, but not quite. It's north of Yosemite, I think, Julie. But Julie is from Fresno.
Yeah.
So she's at her cabin, her childhood cabin right now. But my friend Mary even said, really important work. Yeah, we'll go visit Michael and Merced. I'd love to hear more, and I'm sure others feel the same. And Marge said, God bless you for the impossible job you are required to do. You seem passionate and committed. He is. You're a totally passionate, cool person. I love talking with you. Makes my day better. Makes my night better when you were on at night. And I'm sorry we kept you up that time, but it does. You're a good person.
Well, I wanted to come on, and and our relationship is important to me. So, and I'm glad to be part of this community. I mean, I feel like I got friends all over the place because of you, and especially with this pandemic stuff that's been going on, I think you filled the void that a lot of us had and not being able to connect with people. So thank you for providing that.
Thank you for being a part of it. I could have been sitting here alone talking. My dog Lillian looks over at me sometimes like, who in the hell are you talking to? And it could have been just me going, hey, but people have joined. Julie Luce is like here every day. Rob Morocco is in Canada. Yeah, you have friends all over the world. Sometimes Mexico, sometimes Europe. Right here, and you're in Merced. I'm in Michigan. Julie's by Shaver Lake, south of Yosemite. And Michael's in Canada, and there's in Philadelphia. Mare's in Philadelphia. My mom's downstairs. So yeah. What are you doing next Thursday?
Oh no, it's too far out.
All right. Well, if you want to jump back on Thursday morning, I will be here.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
And I'll have more questions. Or if you want to come on 6 months from now, I think I'll still be here.
Yeah, I'm planning a trip with my daughter and grandson to Yosemite not this weekend, but next weekend.
Cool.
Yeah, she's never been there. My wife's never been there.
Far out.
My grandson's never been there, so.
Oh, how very cool.
And being a vet, we get in for free, so.
You do the whole, you just get to drive in. Yo, Michael, what's up?
Yep.
Do they go like this when they see you?
I don't think so, but
if they only knew, because I know what you do, and you are beyond an angel.
And I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you are. You're doing angels' work on this planet.
Yeah.
So
I do sometimes.
Are you going to have breakfast now, or do you have breakfast now, or do you have a snack and then go to bed? Hi, Patty.
Well, I got these little.
Which one is that?
I don't know. It's a little Asian cracker thing.
Ooh, like a rice cracker? Are there different shapes?
Yeah, they're pretty tasty. So
forget about it, brother.
That's about it this morning. I'll have a sandwich when I wake up.
I had some pop chips yesterday, and I'm still like, ate a few pop chips. Do you have to get reservations when you go to Yosemite?
Yeah, they're requiring a reservation 7 days before you go, and it's good for 3 days.
And will you
So
camp in the park?
no, just a day trip.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go up early in the morning and leave in the afternoon and come back.
Bridal Veil Falls and see all
Yeah,
the stuff. I've done that before. I've gone in. I've been there for days at a time, and then other times I've driven there and driven back that day to Berkeley just because I needed to feel that.
yeah, you got to get away.
Yeah. I have a
Um,
cousin that lives in Corsgold, which is right outside the park. So who's friends with Julie. So we're gonna have a big old party.
yeah,
Barbecue,
party at
tacos
Julie's house.
at Julie's house too. Yeah, Julie's living in a really great place now. So we'll do it. Well, I'll see you again when we see you and anytime, but I know Thursday mornings are open and if you feel it, jump on, say hi. We'll
Sure,
have questions.
sure.
All right.
Be
Michael
happy to
Kiel,
answer them if I
everybody.
can.
What's that?
Happy to answer them if I can.
Well, I think when I know that you're coming on again and I will let people know that, then we'll have questions. Like, do you watch TV when you're going to sleep now?
Um, the TV watches me for the most part. I'll turn it on, and before I know it, I'll be asleep. So
The TV watches me. What do you watch? What watches you when you're going to sleep?
I usually put it on. Oh, what is it? Kind of like adventure explorer type things. Ones with Jeff Kerwin or something like
Is
that.
that
He
the guy
does.
that's out there by himself? I'm out in the middle of the wilderness and I have one stick and a mascara wand.
No, I watch him too, but no. I watch this guy. He's on a cruise ship, and he goes to these different places and explores stuff that the
Fun.
places have to offer. Another one is um, Ford's. Um, I can't remember the name of these shows, and I watch them every day.
That's all right. Go to sleep.
The Henry Ford's Museum thing
Ooh,
with
yeah.
Mo Rocca, and another one is Destination Adventure or something like that. And I can't remember Dylan Dyer. It's another travel show. But like I said, they watch me more than I watch them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you again. I've said this to you before, and I said it the night that I met you when you walked in the room. I went, you reminded me of my brother.
yeah,
So
yeah, I still remember that.
I'm glad I have a brother in Merced.
Yeah, you do.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
And he's a Marine.
I know, right?
No
And
better
he's a
friend.
nurse.
No better friend. No worst enemy.
And he can barbecue.
Yep. I like to eat.
Well, you know how to take care of yourself. Thank you very much. I'm going to go hang out with Grace and we're going to go to lunch with my cousins. So, do you have a letter? I'll end the show with you right now. You give me a letter.
Let's go with A.
A.
My middle initial.
A is for the way your aptitude shows and more. And A is the middle initial of Michael Kiel. So you are Mac Daddy, yeah. And you are Mac Brother, yeah. And I'm so happy all of you are here today to experience this absolutely groovy nurse. And I hope that you have absolutely groovy thoughts and an aptitude for words and a really, 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 really. I can't think of a word with A that goes for heart.
Appreciative.
Appreciative heart. Thank you, Michael.
Thank
I
you.
want to ask you, is it Anthony?
Nope.
Oh,
Think Italian.
I was thinking Italian, not Antonio.
Yep.
It's Antonio.
Yep.
Michael Antonio Kiel. And you know, my brother's name was Antonino.
Mm.
Anthony. All right.
So you know all my secrets now.
Guys, you know it all now. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Appreciative. I am. Thank you very much. Big hug. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Be nice, everybody. We're out of here. Michael and I are out of here.
Yep. And
Yep.
remember,
Oh,
love
I'll do
hard.
it. Love hard. Really, really hard. Thanks, Michael.
Ah.